Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Qasim, the founder of AudioFlow and Day 7, and I'm just going to talk you through the last week. So in the last episode, I basically spoke about me launching Day 7, which is my AI consultancy agency, as well as AudioFlow, which is basically a platform that allows you to build podcasts using AI generated voices, and that's targeting businesses as well as individuals who might want to build their own podcast. So I can give you some quick updates on both of them, and I'll show you some highlights from one of the events that I did this week. So let's kick off. So with Day 7, so one thing I want to do is just talk about like the progress of the last kind of week and kind of the journey of me building these out. So with Day 7, obviously brand new business. In the last episode, I talked about how I landed a £5,000 client. So kind of what we've been doing with that work is we've been kind of just building out the workflows now. There's been a lot of obviously updates in the news at the moment, or in the AI news anyway, around OpenAI bringing out their own version of like an NAA workflow builder, which I have played around with, and at the moment I think it's still got a bit to go compared to NAN. But basically we've just been testing, making sure that the AI voice agent can connect to the client CRM and connect to make sure that it actually does what we've promised it can do. So that is going into their CRM, looking at the diaries, because what it's for is for a dental practice, looking at the diaries and going, okay, so who is available when? If somebody wants to cancel an appointment, can it cancel the appointment? And then will that make it that available? And all the little nuances that basically is expected of a actual receptionist to be able to handle. Because like I said before, selling an AI voice agent is one thing, and getting it to build an Airtable and just having like bookings come through. But what the next stage is actually getting it to connect to systems that exist. And that's what we're doing at the moment, because that's what people want. That's basically what the dental practices that I've been working with want, is basically they have an existing CRM, they have an existing booking system, and I want to make sure that the AI can actually talk to that system and book, cancel, change appointments if needed, take payments, and if it can't take payments, how does it trigger the payments to come off? Is it going to email? Is it going to text message as soon as somebody books in? And is it going to send reminders? So these are all things that we're doing at the moment from an automation standpoint. So that's where I am at with the current situation with Day 7's current customers. On the 23rd of October, I've basically done a partnership with a company called Scrubs, which does medical grade like uniforms. So all like the uniforms that they wear during practice, it's basically them uniforms. So they've got a subscription list of around about 8,000 emails and subscribe to their email list. So we've done a partnership with them to do a webinar on the 23rd of October, and that is basically talking about how AI can transform or help support your healthcare business. So either that be a dentist, or either it be what else could it be, a aesthetics clinic, or anything in the healthcare business. So I'm going to be doing a talk about how AI receptionists, which is kind of just the obvious thing, but doing software transformation. So looking at their current tech stack and going, okay, so what can we build for you where you don't have to pay these subscriptions anymore? You could just have that piece of tech yourself. And then other variations of automation as well that they might consider. So that's happening on the 23rd. So I can give you guys an update on that next week, which is cool. And then with Day 7, another thing that I've been thinking about is actually holding events in my own city. So I'm from a place called Leeds here in the UK. And one thing I've been thinking about is like holding events with business owners from small to medium-sized businesses who might think about using AI to enhance their workflows, automations, or potentially might look at software to enhance what they're currently doing at the moment. I've actually been building my own CRM just for all my businesses at the moment, because I think for me, I actually don't have visibility of all the sales from different businesses in one place. So I've basically just been building a dashboard and a full CRM for all four businesses. So people from Unscripted Talent, Unscripted Digital, Day 7, AudioFlow can all basically just put all in their own sales pipeline, and then I can kind of see what figures are coming in. So that's something that I'm currently building at the moment, and I'll give you an update on AudioFlow's pipeline and leads that are generated over like the last couple of days over an event that I did. So that's currently where I am at the moment with day 7. It's getting a bit confusing now because I have so many businesses, but it's a good thing, keeps me busy. With AudioFlow then, so last week I talked about how I was going to do a 2-day event in Birmingham here in the UK, and that event was basically showcasing AudioFlow to, there was around about 3,000 people there, and I had many conversations, and this was kind of like the decider to see if I was going to continue with that business, because the good thing with AI now is like if something doesn't work, you can just move on to the next thing relatively cheap, because it doesn't take a lot of cost to build these products now. And one thing I have noticed, and so if you're ever thinking about building like a business over like a livable bolt, Replit, whatever, building the product's one thing, actually getting it to market is a whole nother ball game, and there is nothing that can prepare you for that. I think it's very easy for these people online to sell you these dreams of like you can have a SaaS business and you can do this, but actually getting to market and getting customers is probably the hardest part. Like literally, you can have the greatest product, you can think about what it is that it can do and how it can change things, but if you're not getting in front of people, that is always going to be a challenge. And this is basically what I found for the first 2 weeks of me just promoting it over LinkedIn. I got 0 leads, but actually going to this event, talking to people, showing people the system, what it can do, how it can basically take a document or anything of written format and turn it into a conversational podcast, kind of like Google LLM, but we can change the voices, we can translate. It really opened people's minds to what is possible. And in traditional like learning, digital, especially digital learning, where I've kind of come from for the last 15 years, the traditional route to learning is e-learning, which is basically you going on a computer screen, clicking through and basically saying, I understand subject X. It's not the way that people learn outside of work. And that's kind of always been my argument, is how does somebody learn outside of work? And that's basically what people saw. And over the last probably 2 days, it was on Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday was a lot better because we had a lot more volume, but we actually got this roughly around about the same amount of leads on the Wednesday as well, even though the amount of volume wasn't as kind of obvious within the kind of arena that we were. But I ended up with about 50 leads in total. So if I kind of look at the cost, it cost me 4,500 in total to get the stand, hotel, travel, expenses whilst there. So if I had 50 leads, it kind of cost me around about £90 per lead. If I convert 2 customers off the back of that, because our average customer spend is around about £2,700 pound. So that's roughly around about $3,600 per year in order to get access to the platform. There are some level ups and there's some level downs, but on average, that's roughly where we're looking at. And for a business, as I said before, they have money, they're able to spend. If they put it into their budget, then that's great. I actually had my first conversation this morning around it, and it was a client who I met at the show. We had a call and she loves it and she basically wants to put it into her budget. So the kind of next steps now is obviously going through what they call like a procurement team. So that's basically a team in the background who checks the product, make sure, because we are a very, very, very new company, make sure that we are going to just like stand the test of time. So we're not just going to take that money and run off. That the security measures that we've put in place isn't going to leak any of their information. So there's lots of things that companies need to do in the background to make sure that what you've built is safe and their information that they're putting into that system isn't just going to go wherever over the kind of open web, especially going into natural language and training LLMs, because that's their biggest fear, is like they put something confidential, they put something business specific, and it goes out into the World Wide Web or LLM world. So that's basically where I am at the moment. I have some more conversations next week that have been booked in. And then naturally, because we have 50 leads, I haven't seen 50 bookings coming through yet, is just following up the leads that have been produced, because people get busy, people come to these shows. I know what it's like from the other side, is that I get busy. I'm probably going to look at these tools as and when that I might need it. I might want it, but it might not be something that I can probably bring in right now. So I'm going to have to be a bit persistent in converting. So, I mean, if I can convert 7 leads off the back of the 50 that I bought in, that is a massive achievement for me. So I think that's roughly around like anywhere between about £15,000 profit, if that's achievable. And if I can consistently do that per month, then that's an amazing business to have. So if I can do that with AudioFlow, then obviously bringing more avenues through day 7, then that's the perfect scenario. But I know it's never going to be as easy as that. It's all about getting the awareness out there. The first couple of customers is always the hardest, that's natural. But it's kind of keeping that pipeline of leads coming through, because I can't just be stale now and go, okay, I've got 50 leads. I'm going to keep hammering them. I need to get new leads. I need to get new people having conversations about the platform, showing them the platform, and just continuously having these conversations, because it is a numbers game. The more conversations you have, the more awareness you get, the more then people might round off. So you might keep getting 100 leads. You might have, I don't know, 50 good conversations, and from that 50 good conversations, you convert 20 of them. So it's, how do I get them leads? How do I keep having these conversations? And there's not that many kind of like shows. I can't keep spending £4,000 or £5,000 every show just because I want presence, I want to be there, because obviously that's cost, and I need to get my return on investment for this show first before I can start going wild and start doing more shows. So yeah, that's the aim of the game right now. I think over the next week, I'm going away for a wedding on Wednesday till Friday, so that's kind of shortening down next week, which is a bit frustrating in the sense of like business wise, but it'll be nice for me to have a break. I've not had a break in a while, so it's kind of 2 days then of really honing down, trying to just hammer down these leads. I've got, I think, 3 conversations next week to talk about AudioFlow with some potential clients. Actually, one of the conversations, and one thing that I've kind of considered, is partnerships with other businesses who might do something similar or might have clients that actually want this, because that could be another way to actually get my platform to market. It might mean that I have to give a little bit of compensation to that company. So say, for example, if they do sell the product to clients that are existing, I might need to give something like 20-30% of that sale away. But if I kind of think about my margins and go, okay, so if I was to do the partnership model and give 30% away, for example, that was a client that I never had before. And because the SaaS tool's already built, it doesn't really make any difference to me. The income's coming through, and that could just be on year 1. So year 2, if we retain that customer, then year 2, 3, 4, 5, all the income then would come to us. So the percentage of sale value would come off the back of the first year sale. And then that relationship is built, and then they'll come back to us in order to actually continue that relationship, as long as they're happy with the products and any iterations that we do in the future. So yeah, I mean, it's very early days. We're a couple of weeks in. So like I said before, if you want to continue with this journey and you want to follow my journey with these businesses, please like, subscribe, share everything, so we can get some more viewership and more subscribers. And then yeah, next week I will keep you up to date. I'm going to just play some clips from the actual show now, just so you have a little flavour about actually what I was doing. But yeah, thanks a lot. Right, it's 6:30 in the morning, and I'm going to go to Birmingham now. I'm going to go pick up my friend who's going to help me out on the stand for AudioFlow. Didn't really sleep last night. Do you know that feeling when you have something on your mind, like you're going on a holiday, or you know that you've got something to do in the morning, and then you end up waking up like an hour early, probably like don't sleep during the day, during the night. And then yeah, you just constantly just tossing, turning, because you know your alarm's going to go off. That's basically what happened to me last night. So very tired. And yeah, so gonna go drive down. It's gonna take us about 2 hours to get to Birmingham, so probably like an hour to pick up my friend, and then another hour just to get to Birmingham, and then we're gonna start getting the stand ready. So yeah, wish us luck. We'll see how we get on, and I'll give you updates throughout the day. So that's a wrap. That's day 2 done here at the NEC here in Birmingham. Another great day, great conversations, great feedback from people playing with the system. I think the best thing for me is just basically getting that reaction. So people going, oh my God, this is actually a really good tool. It gives me confidence that this is something that I've built that is actually something that can be used within businesses. And a lot of people are talking about using it for individual cases as well. So the hard part comes now. So I've got all the leads. Now it's all about how I actually follow up them conversations and then try to convert them into sales, basically. So let's keep on flowing with the journey, and I'll keep you guys up to date.